Chapter 1. An unforgettable night. So beautiful he heard a soft voice that made him wake up. Opening his eyes, he realized it was in vain. Nothing before him but an unprecedented void. Beautiful like the fruit of good and evil. The voices were different, as clear as the sun, as sweet as a melody played by a goddess, yet at the same time, it seemed like just a grand trap, two women. He didn't even know what to think. I want him for myself. A third voice emerged, as lovely as the other two, and some sounds echoed as he felt one of the women's hands moving where his stomach should be. At least he could clearly feel the hands tracing his body. Who? He questioned, trying to orient himself, forcing his mind to remember how. He ended up there, and a voice whispered. Again, I can give you everything you want, you just have to accept, darling. Before he could even think about what it was, he felt his body heavy and an insane headache. The young man's eyes slowly began to open. Seeing that familiar ceiling he remembered so well. Still sleepy, he turned to the side to look at the computer set up on a desk not far from his bed. Damn, what the hell happened, he said as he got up from the bed, his face completely marked by how he had slept. The first action, he put his hand on his head, which, by the way, hurt like hell. What the hell kind of dream was that, he muttered first, then looked at the time on the desk by the computer. It's still early, he grumbled. It was around 6 in the morning on a Monday. And honestly, he didn't want to exist. What the hell happened yesterday? He asked himself, trying to remember how or what had happened, but it was like a complete blank that he couldn't recall, absolutely nothing. He really tried to dig into his memory, but no matter how hard he tried, nothing. He looked around. The familiar walls, the furniture he recognized, everything indicated he was back to his everyday life. Yet the agitation from the dream still reverberated within him, leaving a lingering sense of unease. All of it. What the hell kind of dream was that? He thought aloud, seeing even the scratch mark on the headboard of his bed. His heart was still racing. He got up and walked to the bathroom in his room. Looking into the mirror, he saw a young, pale face reflected back at him. His eyes were a bit clouded but still blue, tinged with a light gray. Faint violet lines were beginning to form on his forehead, contrasting with the calm expression he tried to maintain. His grayish-white hair fell messily around his face, as if he had just woken up from a restless sleep. His cheekbones were slightly flushed, perhaps from the heat of the moment or the shock of what he had just experienced. Everything looks fine here, he murmured, checking to see if anything had happened to his body, which ached excruciatingly, and his head still throbbed with pain. Damn, he complained again. Yesterday. Oh, that's right, I went to the movies last night. To see that guy with two swords who wears red, and then where did I go? He wanted to form some kind of timeline, a chronology in his mind, but nothing came to mind. Come on, Virgil, remember. Ah, it's no use. Virgil spent a while longer staring at his face in the mirror, searching for any tiny detail that was different, but he found nothing. Wake up, if you don't wake up, I'll give you a kiss. An animated voice came from the side of his bed, on the small bedside table where there was a drawer, along with papers scattered on it. There it was, on top of everything, the source of that irritating sound. An alarm clock of that otaku girl with blue hair, yes, the one everyone likes. It was a special edition where she was dressed as a bunny girl. Virgie gave a light sigh and walked over to it. There was a button on the top, used to stop the yelling that the little waifu made every morning to wake him up. He approached and gave a small flick of his hand that generated a slight breeze, part of the speed that was coming, and then he hit the button, making the waifu stop bothering him. When he raised his eyes slightly, after seeing that she had stopped, he noticed a small cut on the wall. The wallpaper had peeled a bit. Upon closer inspection, it looked like the cut had just been made. What the? Virgil, he heard the shout of a woman. One he knew very well, a distinctive voice. He usually hard, and she sounded quite angry. Did she wake up in a bad mood? Virgil wondered as he walked toward his bedroom door, trying to open it, but he thumbed the doorknob, and the door literally came off. Ah, shut, he shouted, holding the door before it fell, also hearing the anxious footsteps coming from the hallway. Oh, for fuck's sake, she cursed upon seeing the door. She was a beautiful woman, even eerily so, with hair completely white like his, which well, was just a hereditary problem, affecting melanin production. She looked, just, very angry, despite resembling a version of the honored one, who had just become half the man he once was. Virgil, clearly seeing that woman, could only think of that man freaking out. Because, between heaven and earth, I am the honored one. Damn, I'm going to have to pay someone to fix this shit, she said, as foul-mouthed as ever. This woman was the most important person in his life, Felicia Kennedy. His mother. Hey, what's wrong with you? She asked, seeing how the man seemed completely dazed and confused. Nothing, just a headache, Virgil replied. While analyzing the woman, her clothes were wrinkled, and she was clearly in a hurry. She was wearing simple clothing, a reasonably tight pair of jeans that he didn't want to pay attention to, a simple black shirt accompanied by a black leather jacket, along with black sunglasses. Where are you going at this hour? Virgil questioned as he watched his mother check how the door had fallen. I have an interview, she said as she returned to her normal posture. Harry called Carlier, asking if you made it home alive. She said, very seriously, concerned, and with good reason. Look, I get that you're an adult now, you're 20, but don't you think you should have at least some responsibility? She questioned, crossing her arms and eyeing him up and down, clearly checking if he was okay physically. She was like that, a foul-mouthed woman. But she clearly cared about him, and that was what mattered. Sorry, it won't happen again, he apologized, scratching his head and smiling slightly embarrassed. No excuses, just do better, she said, smiling as she moved away from Virgil to go downstairs. I made coffee, eat something and go to college, she said, unconcerned. All right. As he watched Felicia go downstairs, he went back into the room to grab his phone, which was pretty well hidden, and it took him a few good minutes to find it. With a damaged screen. Shit, he murmured, and the first thing he did was open his direct messages to see if anyone had tagged him in anything. Fortunately, there were no compromising photos or tags from the previous night. The same couldn't be said for his message inbox. He read the messages with a sinister expression. 2:01 a.m. Harry Markin, crazy night. What happened to you? 2:04 a.m. Harry Markin, damn, you did well. How did it go with those girls? 3:35 a.m. Harry Markin, Virgil. Did you get home? 4:20 a.m. Harry Markin, hey, you idiot. Where are you? 5:35 a.m. Harry Markin, I'm calling your mom, and you can deal with her later. 5:40 a.m. Harry Markin, damn, don't scare me like that, you asshole. So he knows what happened, those girls. What does he mean? Virgil wondered as he prepared to send a message. 6:10 a.m. V. We need to talk. I don't remember anything. He sent the message as he got ready to take a shower. He hurried because, well, he had to go to engineering school. Not that he wanted to. He just did it because he got a scholarship. The shower was quick, to the point where one might question if it was really a shower or just a quick rinse. The moment he stepped out of the shower, still in a towel, his phone started ringing incessantly. What the hell is this? He thought as he picked up the phone call from Harry. Talk, he said as he answered. What the hell do you mean you don't remember last night? The voice was so loud that he almost dropped the phone. Keep your voice down, you animal. What happened last night? Virgil asked, still trying to understand. What do you mean, what happened last night? Damn, you hit the jackpot without even playing. How do you not remember? Harry asked, completely incredulous. Less than author's note. Hey, remember to use your golden tickets and power stones to help the work reach new heights.